Welcome to another episode of Secret Archives. Today we dive into the chilling and shadowy side of Norse mythology, a world filled with betrayal, bloodshed, monstrous creatures, and the inevitable doom of even the mightiest gods. From the treacherous schemes of Loki to the monstrous children of chaos and the prophecy of the world's final battle, this is the dark truth behind the gods of the North, the origins of chaos. Before the gods of Asgard came to rule, Norse mythology tells of a time of primordial chaos. In the beginning, there was only the vast emptiness known as Ginnungagap, flanked by the fiery realm of Muspelheim and the frozen wastelands of Niflheim. From the collision of these two extremes came the first being, Ymir, a great and terrible frost giant. Ymir was the embodiment of chaos, and from his body sprang the first of the Jotnar, the frost giants. These beings were powerful and unruly, forever at odds with the gods who would later rise. To bring order to the cosmos, the gods Odin, Vili, and Ve slew Ymir, using his body to create the world. His blood became the seas, his bones formed the mountains, and his skull became the sky. Yet from the very start, Norse mythology was built upon an act of violence and destruction. The slaughter of Ymir set a precedent. Blood must be spilled to maintain order, and peace was always temporary. The frost giants never forgot this betrayal, and their thirst for vengeance against the gods would never fade. Loki, the trickster and betrayer. Loki, the infamous trickster, was both a companion and a threat to the gods of Asgard. He was not a true god, but a Jotun, a giant whose cleverness and deceit made him both useful and dangerous. At times, Loki aided the gods, using his wit to help them escape impossible situations. Yet beneath his cunning exterior, darkness festered. Loki's greatest crimes were not merely pranks, but betrayals that led to suffering and death. He orchestrated the tragic demise of Balder, the most beloved of the gods. When Balder began having nightmares of his own death, his mother Frigg made every object in existence vow not to harm him, except for mistletoe, which she deemed too insignificant to pose a threat. Loki exploited this oversight, crafting a dart from mistletoe and tricking Balder's blind brother Hoder into throwing it. Balder fell dead, and with him, the light of Asgard dimmed. For this crime, Loki was bound in a cave, where a venomous serpent dripped poison onto his face, a torment he would endure until the end of days. But Loki's role in the downfall of the gods was not over. His true treachery was yet to come. The beasts of Norse mythology. The dark side of Norse mythology is filled with monstrous beings, many of them the offspring of Loki. His three infamous children, Fenrir, Jormungandr, and Hel, each played a role in the destruction of the gods. Fenrir, the great wolf, born from Loki and the giantess Angerboda. Fenrir was an enormous wolf prophesied to one day kill Odin. The gods, fearing his power, attempted to restrain him with unbreakable chains. Fenrir, sensing their deception, refused to be bound unless one of the gods placed a hand in his mouth as a token of good faith. The god Tyr stepped forward, sacrificing his hand when the chains tightened and bound the beast. But Fenrir's imprisonment would not last forever. Jormungandr, the world's serpent. This colossal serpent was cast into the sea by Odin, where it grew so large that it encircled the entire world, biting its own tail. It was said that when Jormungandr released its tail, Ragnarok would begin. Hel, queen of the dead. Unlike her siblings, Hel did not take a monstrous form, but was half living and half dead. Odin cast her into the underworld, where she ruled over those who did not die in battle. Her domain was a place of cold and despair, far from the feasting halls of Valhalla. These children of chaos embodied the inevitability of destruction, waiting for their moment to rise against the gods. Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. Norse mythology does not promise a happy ending. Instead, it foretells an unavoidable apocalypse. Ragnarok, the doom of the gods. The signs of the end include the death of Balder, the great wolf Fenrir breaking free, and the long winter Fimbulwinter that would devastate the world. When the time comes, Loki will escape his bonds and lead an army of giants and monsters against the gods. The final battle will be fought on the plains of Vigrid, where fate has already determined the outcome. Odin versus Fenrir. The All-Father will face his doom at the jaws of the great wolf. Fenrir will devour Odin, but Odin's son Vidar will avenge him by tearing Fenrir apart. Thor versus Jormungandr. The mighty Thor will strike down the world serpent with his hammer Mjolnir, but will only take 9 steps before succumbing to the serpent's venom. Tyr versus Garmr. The god of war will battle Garmr, the blood-soaked hound of hell, and though he will slay the beast, he will perish as well. Loki versus Heimdall. The trickster god and the guardian of Asgard will strike each other down in battle. In the end, the world will be consumed by flames, and the seas will rise. Only a few gods and 2 human survivors, Lif and Lifthrasir, will remain to rebuild a new world from the ashes. The dark side of Norse mythology reveals a world of violence, inevitable doom, and chaos lurking beneath the surface of legend. Unlike many other mythologies that promise eternal salvation, Norse myths accept that even the gods must fall. This raw, brutal storytelling is what makes these legends so enduring and captivating. What are your thoughts on the dark side of Norse mythology? Do you think the gods deserved their fate, or was it simply the natural cycle of the cosmos? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to explore more ancient secrets with us at Secret Archives. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.